You have nothing to prove through writing, nothing to prove to others and nothing to prove to yourself. You are not writing your way toward worthiness. You are writing your way toward the recognition that you have always been held in divine affection. Now, what I mean by this is what I'll talk about in this video. Hello and welcome to Devotion to Writing, a channel devoted to helping you cultivate a daily writing practice, move you from fear and doubt to writing, and to discover the abundance of your own creativity. Writing is not merely a creative art or a language art. It is my belief that it is also a healing art. That has been my own discovery. It is also a spiritual practice. At least it has been for me. And I've always, my entire life, I've been drawn to writing songs, stories, fiction, nonfiction, memoir, poems. Over the years, I've written thousands, maybe tens of thousands of pieces. And somewhere along the way, I realized I wasn't only writing stories or poems or filling pages with my thoughts, with my ideas. I was actually writing myself. I was growing myself. That daily practice of showing up to the page, of sitting, listening, communing, making space for the thoughts, the memories, the emotions, the images, the ideas, my longings, my dreams, that changed my life. I guess more accurately, it has, as I said earlier, it has grown my life. It has grown me. That practice of coming daily and being at this page, sitting with all that I am, has grown my life. Now, at first, I thought writing would just make me into a writer. That's all I really wanted to be. I wanted to just write. I enjoyed writing. I've always loved putting my ideas, the ineffable, trying to say what it is that is within me. I've always wanted to give that a form and a language. So that joy was there. But something else has happened along the way. Writing has revealed that I already am and always was a writer, and that you are the author of this magic blessing of life that we are living. And at the same time, writing has taught me something I think even deeper. Not only that I am the author, that I am a writer. Writing, much like meditation, doesn't create a deeper self. It doesn't create a self. It just uncovers one. And this constant commentary of our judgmental mind, this begins to soften through the practice of writing. Like meditation, it reveals something quieter and truer. We begin to perceive that there is something more than the critical, than the ego mind. We discover that we are much more spacious than our thoughts, and more alive than our fears, and more beautiful than the stories we are habitually telling about ourselves. We are the teller of the story. So the practice of writing doesn't make us worthy. It reveals that worthiness was not the point in our writing, in doing anything that we are involved in. But beneath all of our striving is a life held in divine affection, a love that is, we don't have to earn. We don't have to manufacture. It is more that we remember what we are. And the writing is a way of remembering all the vastness that we contain. And our creativity is but one expression of this vastness, of this vast affection that holds us. We don't force it into existence. We just learn to notice it and trust it. And if we so desire, we give it form. We give it beauty. We express it. Well, I shouldn't say if we all desire, because we don't really have a choice. We're always expressing it, but are we aware that we are expressing it? And once we become aware that we are just an expression of this affection, this love, our lives truly can blossom. So our practice in that regard is one of awareness, of attention. It is one of receiving, of surrendering, of getting out of the way of what is already seeking expression through us. The judging mind says, oh, this isn't good enough, or I shouldn't say that, or I can't write this. But those voices constrict our natural expression. They tighten around our energy until we begin trying to form, to write from, I should say, inside a prison of our own making, a construction of what can I say? What am I able to say? Well, what can Justin say? What's Justin allowed to say? Who's going to think this or that about me if I say this or that? All of this has to go. And writing, this daily practice of writing what is in us, of being and showing up with what is in us, and trying to be open and surrender and to receive, invites us to go beyond that prison of our own judgment, of our own internal critics, not by becoming someone else, but simply by returning to who we have always been. You are, we all are, wildly creative. Creation, life, this life, vital energy is what we are. And not because we've earned it, not because we are worthy or not worthy, but simply because life itself, the divine itself, God itself, whatever you want to call it, longs to express itself through you and does. So today, as you write, I invite you to just sit and relax and notice what is within you, what is all around you. Take note, write it down, make a list of what you are seeing and hearing and feeling and smelling and tasting. What can your skin feel? There is no end to your awareness, to the attention, to the presence that you bring to the world and the expression that you give to this presence. So see where this takes you today. See where your writing takes you, not just today, but for this whole week. Maybe you make it your practice to simply sit and notice. What am I seeing? Write this. What do I hear? Write this. What do I taste? What do I smell? What do I feel? Take all of these in. Take all of these in. What are my ideas? What images are swimming about in me? So write about this. The point isn't to write anything in particular, to necessarily have a goal, although it may become something. But the first thing I always say is you don't need to know what you're going to write in order to write. Enjoy the opportunity to sit and make of language something beautiful, to commune through language with something that is with the attention, with the awareness that is noticing the wind in the trees, you can't see them, but the hydrangeas that are blooming in front of me and the bees playing in the hydrangeas. Just to notice these things that are in, and how does this make you feel? And where does this take you? Just to be with the abundance of all that you are sensing, of all the energies and voicings and expressions and noticing that you contain, that you are, that you give expression to. So, thank you for watching. Please like this video. If you did like it, please like. Please subscribe if you want to receive more videos, and maybe share it with a friend if you think they might benefit from this video and from this channel. As always, I hope you write deeply today. I know that if you do write, you will write beautifully, because beautiful is what you are. Blessings.